Well, some friends of ours that own some stations, their father, who was kind of the patriarch of their company, passed away, and they approached me about buying the stations, and they knew I was looking for something to do, and I've been in telecommunications my whole career, but not in broadcast. And we came to a deal and bought the stations, and now we've begun buying other stations in other markets. Coming out of a different part of the wireless industry, which was cellular phones, radio paging, land mobile. I remember when there was a resistance in adopting digital in our industry, and it caused the demise of major companies who felt like adopting new technologies and the capital involved in doing so was a mistake. And broadcast needs to more aggressively adopt HD digital radio, because it's all about providing services to your customers. It's not just about playing music. I think sometimes a little bit of an advantage that I have is I'm not a broadcaster. I'm a businessman. And I look at this as a business, not as something that stokes my ego. Because you've got to make profit to survive, and you have to make profit to grow. And if you're in this industry and you're struggling financially, you need to really ask yourself, what am I doing wrong? To me, the complete company is, if you're going to address social media, you better get some young people in there. Because my generation, that's not our bailiwick. And it's all about finding talent, giving them an opportunity to use their talents, compensating them properly. And my job is more to kind of herd everybody between the ditches and try to get a combined group of people that can make this thing grow and address all these different parts of the platform. That's what I'm trying to do. To me, great radio and the companies that are doing a great job are the companies that are adopting the technology. They're interfacing their broadcast format with the internet, with streaming services, with Facebook, with Twitter, and they offer a complete plate full of services to their listener and to their customer, because these aren't just listeners. You're trying to address a group of people, particularly with the millennials, that are going to be the biggest market, in my opinion, and they want the full plate of services. And and to me, that's what the great radio is. And to me, it's not being radio anymore. It's being about media and web-based services, whether they be social media, websites. You've got to address that whole platform, or you're going to drop by the wayside. Adopting a new technology like the live wire, relatively new technology to the industry, we had a lot of lessons, some interesting crashes of the whole network on occasion, but after a few months of learning, most of the errors being due to us, we got it stabilized, and it's a great technology. We're the smallest operator, surrounded by a lot of 100,000 and 50,000 watt stations, and by far we have the best sound in the market, and people have noticed that. The future of broadcast and the people who will set the pace in that future are the ones that are willing to invest in the latest new technologies. One of the things I hadn't really liked coming out of an industry in land mobile, where at first there were proprietary standards owned by certain companies that they were trying to force onto the industry, and where our industry really blossomed in digital is when non-proprietary standards were brought into the industry. And sometimes I wonder if that's not something we need in broadcast, but right now what you have to work with is the ubiquity platform. That's the mandated platform, so if you're going to adopt digital, that's the way you have to go. But I think one thing is, the industry has to start adopting digital aggressively and figuring out the appropriate way to tie it into the social media, the web, the internet, streaming to the internet. Who more ideally can stream music to the internet than a broadcaster? And if you aren't at least doing that, you're going to fall by the wayside. And falling by the wayside in this market's not a wise thing to do.